Hello, good morning, Mrs.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Angkhana.
ขอบคุณมากที่ให้เกียรติมาร่วมสัมภาษณ์กับ CPT
Today our topic is about asylum seekers. I would like to know the current situation in Thailand and any support from the government regarding these issues.
First of all, since Thailand hasn't ratified the 1951 Refugee Convention yet, therefore Thailand doesn't have the duty to give a citizenship to refugees. So when we talk about asylum seekers, we can distinguish the asylum seekers into two categories. The first category are asylum seekers living in refugee camps. The second category are overstaying asylum seekers. When we look at the asylum seekers living in refugee camps, most of them are located at the borderline like Son Pung and Mae Sot. This kind of asylum seekers have moved to Thailand over many generations. The Thai government responds by sending these asylum seekers back to their country of origin. The asylum seeker of the second category are overstaying asylum seeker. They don't live like the others in camps, but among us. At first, they come legally with all the necessary documents to Thailand. However, after their visa has expired, they extend their legal allowance and continue their stay. For those who come to Thailand in order to stay, have to get registered at the UNHCR based in Thailand. UNHCR stands for United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee. The time till getting interviewed is not set and can take unexpectedly long or short. Only asylum seekers and people classified as person of concern, who are in addition categorized as overstaying immigrants, have the chance to get interviewed by the UNHCR.
ไม่ว่าอาจจะได้สถานะผู้ลี้ภัยก็ได้
หมดอายุ
หมด
แต่
อา
เขา
ยุ
At first they came to Thailand legally.
Came legally to Thailand.
Well, but after the visa expired, then
Their status changes to overstaying asylum seekers. Some of them own the POC identification card, but they still have to maintain at one of the detention rooms. This is due to the Thai Immigration Law 1979. This law forces the Thai immigration officials to send asylum seekers back to their home countries. But here's a problem. Because some asylum seekers can't go back to their home country due to the danger of living condition as an example. And still, they can't get immediately transferred to the third country, but have to stay temporarily in Thailand. Some of the female asylum seekers, for example, had to return to their detention room right after giving birth at the hospital in Thailand. Statistics have shown that around 10 people die in the detention rooms every year. We, from the Thai government perspective, try to offer these asylum seekers the best treatment by providing ambulance, volunteer doctors and nurses, but we can't avoid that the limited space is not the familiar habitat people used to live at. The fact that so many people have to live and share a very limited space causes contagious diseases to spread even faster. With regards to that, there are two concerns about children of asylum seekers. The first issue involves children in detention rooms. A child is usually considered to be a child until it reaches the age of 18. However, under the Thai Immigration Act 1979, a child is only until the age of 15 considered to be a child. This means there is a gap of 3 years due to different law defining the age limitation of a child. But we should have the principle that a child should live under better circumstances, because the current living standards in the detention rooms are not child appropriate. A child remains innocent and only follows the decision their parents make. Even though Thailand doesn't have the policy to give citizenships to refugees, they still have the right to register their birth certificate in Thailand.
แต่ว่าจะแจ้งเกิดเด็กทุกคนต้องได้รับการแจ้งเกิดว่าทำไงจะยุติการฝากเด็กนะคะและอันที่สองก็คือการมีระบบคัดกรอง
We should stop sending children to detention rooms. The second issue is filtering asylum seekers, because some of them are willing to use Thailand as a hub country. Others, however, come to commit crimes. For those, we should immediately send back to their home country. The government is already working on a solution on that issue by cooperating with different government sectors. Regarding the case of children in detention rooms, the Thai government finally decided on January 2019 to allow mothers to live with their children outside the detention rooms. So we provide all the social services other children in Thailand receive to the children of asylum seekers. Services like educational services, social health care, and the permission to do certain jobs are the most advanced services we can provide.
บริการสาธารณสุขอะไรแบบนี้เป็นต้นนะคะซึ่งอันนี้ก็ถือว่าเป็นความก้าวหน้าอย่างมาก
Even though we not ratifying refugee conventions, but still Thailand have this approach of helping people.
The right to obtain the release on bail is one of the advantages that enables asylum seekers to enter Thailand as a family. Once the mother and child is outside the detention room, they have the right to obtain the release on bail. Obtaining the release on bail is very costly by covering around $1,600 and has to be paid by the asylum seekers themselves. For financial support, asylum seekers, however, have the chance to ask NGOs or other institutions, but it still remains one of the main obstacles they are facing. I suggest that Thailand should apply a filtering system. I also think that we should establish a zone for asylum seekers in order to live under more human living standards.
อาจจะจัดโซนก็ได้เนาะอาจจะจัดโซนประเทศไทยเพื่อจะเดินทางต่อเนี่ยจะให้เขาไปอยู่ที่ไหนอะไรแบบนี้อาจจะเป็น
Many asylum seekers living in Thailand, and one of the functions of Thai government is to screen out those asylum seekers, whether we should send them back home or whether we should contact with UNHCR to come and interview them. My question is about whether Thai government can do this function, whether Thai government can interview asylum seekers and help UNHCR to make the process even faster.
It is important that the police should know the different types of asylum seekers when it comes to filtering. For asylum seekers who enter illegally will be sent back, but if we find out that they can't return back because of the living endangering situation in their home country, we will have to filter out from illegal migrant worker and asylum seekers who are committing crime in Thailand. Migrants who declare a different occupation on their papers from their actual occupation also have to
ถ้า
leave
เป็นอันต
Thailand.
รายเนี่ยก็ยังไงก็มันก็จะมีระบบรองรับอยู่อะไรแบบนี้
เรามาคุยกันต่อในประเด็นที่สอง
From Saudi Arabia, there is a lady came to Thailand and want to use Thailand as a hub to go to Australia. Could you please explain more in detail about this case?
This case involves a girl from Saudi Arabia who tried to use Thailand as a hub in order to get to Australia. The problem was that she didn't pass the Thai immigration by the time her family already called the Saudi Arabian embassy in Thailand, requesting them to return their daughter back home. But she refused to return and insisted to meet the UNHCR officials. According to the Thai immigration law, officials only have the right to investigate her for 7 days. During this time, UNHCR will have to interview her. After passing her interview, the girl will have to wait to get the permission to enter Australia. In order to pass the UNHCR interview, there are certain criteria and conditions. She fulfilled all their criteria. In this case, her strongest point was that she could get murdered if she returns back to Saudi Arabia. After the UNHCR did the interview, they decided that Rahal Mohammed fulfilled all their criteria, and they also looked for other possible destinations she could go.
What is the reason why Thailand want to send her back?
Because Rahal's family requested the Saudi Arabian embassy to return her back, this influenced the decision for Thailand. The UNHCR rated this family issue differently after the interview took place.
So UNHCR came in and took action.
They concerned that this case is beyond normal family issues, but about life or death.
นี่คือจริงไม่ได้มีเจตนาจะมาอยู่ประเทศไทยนานถูกไหมครับ
So there is a bottleneck problem in Thailand that asylum seekers are stuck in here in Thailand.
คือว่าเมื่อเข้ามาแล้วเนี่ย
The bottleneck problem here is that they all have to wait for the interview with UNHCR.
ก็คือเรื่องของการ
Do we have the measures that we can help making this process faster?
We could solve this bottleneck problem if we could cooperate with the UNHCR. In addition, we could also learn by conducting these kind of interviews by ourselves. We could also search for a third country. In conclusion, we basically should filter people out and only remain those who seek asylum.
คนพวกนี้ต้องส่งกลับไปทันที
ยังไงต้องขอบคุณคุณอังคณามากที่ให้เกียรติมาวันนี้นะครับ